my dogs, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no, we gon' hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. With that, let's get down to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, playoff fever has immersed South Florida as we are at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC wildcard matchup between the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our 2 quarterbacks, certainly 2 of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They'll drop the throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Returnable here from the 38. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Well, first carry now. This is Hill. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Hill. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
3rd and long. It's Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Credit Julian Love with a pass breakup.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
And I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense about ready to take over again. I guess you could say they're kind of fortunate to be in the position that they're in, able to host as a division champ, because it's really one of the weakest divisions in the NFL.
And there's often the discussion every time, right, that 4th seed, should they actually be hosting? Because sometimes it turns out that division winner has a lesser record than wild card teams that get in, and some people think that'd be a more fair way of doing things. I got to tell you, I personally like it. The winning a division title, I don't care what the division, how it's ranked, it still means something to me, and I like the fact that they get to host.
I think that's the reason you have the divisions. If you didn't just stack them all up and take the best 6 records, but there's a division for a reason, and the champion hosts the 1st round.
And the first rule of thumb in building a team, build a team to win your division. Beat those teams first, then you go from there.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. To throw now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun to give to Mixon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks
nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. The big man get the oxygen tank ready, and they will bring this
this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
That's how we do it, man.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Fielded at about the 28.
We got this.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, Hill looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but when he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. On 2nd down now. Gold. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving him past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And now out comes Houston. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. That's it. 56. Mike's 56.
From the gun, here's Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Black. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
56.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Check. Check out.
On 2nd down, it's Hill. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
56 to Mike. 56 is to Mike.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you... And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They're going to look to throw. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points.
Automatic first down.
What's up? 19. Hey, eat. You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today. Alert 24. Alert 3. 25. Check 25. Check 25.
Hill running right.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
I'm coming for you. Mike's 56. Mike's 56. Come on. You better bring it. 56.
Watson. And that one will fall incomplete.
Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. A shotgun snap for Watson. Over the middle, complete. That's Black. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there as the first half is winding down, and the Texans push further out in front. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was, and if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
The extra point up and good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
All right, guys, thanks very much. The playoffs are underway. The first of 4 games this weekend. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's remind everybody what's coming up tomorrow in the AFC. We've got the 3-6 game, as it'll be the LA Chargers doing battle with the Kansas City Chiefs.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Black. And the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins.
This is really, really difficult for teams to coach because you love the extra effort, right? When you break a couple of tackles, I mean, he was really trying to gain the extra yardage, but you also have to have an idea that people are going to come up behind you from the side, trying to take care of the ball while you're trying to get extra effort. Sometimes you have to know when to say when and maybe just go down.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all. And it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
Looking to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Montez Sweat in there for the 7th time in this game alone. And that ties him with a late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. And this one is right down the middle. And they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. ended up settling for 3.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
36. Kill. Switch. Shit. 39. Bang. Shit.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike. You got nothing to do.
Watson on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Black. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That's good for 28 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Watson now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Texans push further out in front.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round. But I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so, because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel, make sure they get their security deposit back.
And he will get into the end zone again, and he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Montez Sweat in there yet again. They just cannot block him. He now has 8 sacks, and that is a new single-game record. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. He'll look to throw. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. On second down, Gold. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears like.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat and the Texans take over an excellent field position. Now, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? Go over on the bench right now feeling great.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a half.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. The Dolphins on third down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 17. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. This is fielded at the 27. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And you know, both of us gave these guys a real shot coming in here, but I don't think anyone saw this on the road with this lead in the playoffs. They've looked good a lot of times this year. This is probably as good as they've looked.
Well, it's been a textbook game for them because what you talk about as a visiting team is putting the pressure on the home team. And what puts more pressure on a home team than to be behind the entire game? Because the home crowd's there really for a coronation. They expect to win. And when you're behind, it takes the crowd out of the game. And then the crowd gets a little bit uncomfortable, maybe a little bit frustrated with the home team. And that gives you an extra advantage. So they've done it perfectly. Big lead, put everything back on the home team, and they're capitalizing on it.
Right now, that crowd silent. To throw is Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Black. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2.
Again, it's Hill. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 5. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Shepard. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Looking to throw. Rhodes. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat, a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132 and a half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. 2nd and long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Push him back. Push him back. Get it.
From the gun, Rhodes. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 30 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Rhodes. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! 60 or. Pitch your hands back and go full strength.
On first down, Rhodes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Rhodes. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Rhodes. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And his kick is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25.
On the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Here's Watson. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Julian Love, the rookie from Notre Dame, there to get a hand in. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing now, Watson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up men will take it down.
Let's go, baby.
They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game. Check. Got that done. Win a wild card game. Big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. And with that, we sign off from Miami.
Back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win.